Good morning, third grade. I want to introduce you to your author of the week. The author is the person who writes the story in the book. Our author of the week's name is Donald Cruz. If you look on this slide, you're going to see at the bottom an illustration. Donald Cruz is not only an author, but he is also an illustrator. The illustrator is somebody that draws the pictures. If we talk about Donald Cruz, we know that Donald likes to write about transportation. Transportation is when something goes from one place to another. You can drive transportation or ride in transportation. Some form of transportations that we use are cars, trucks, buses, boats, trains, and airplanes. We'll also talk about a 2-page spread when we read our stories today. Donald Cruz likes to make large illustrations. He likes to make his pictures easy for the reader to see. We also notice in Donald Cruz's books that Donald Cruz likes to use color for the font. Font is another word for the words in the story. Donald doesn't like to just use black. He also likes to use red and blue and green and yellow. Donald also likes to add labels. Donald Cruz, when he draws his pictures, sometimes he uses a technique where he shows motion by blurring the picture. If you look at the train at the bottom, we can see that Donald Cruz has done this. He's blurred the train. That tells the reader that the train is moving, and not just moving, but the train is moving fast. When Donald Cruz writes the words in his stories, he only needs to use a few words to tell the reader what he wants them to know. Sometimes on a page, Donald Cruz will use 1, 2, or 3 words to tell the reader what he wants them to know. And lastly, Donald rarely puts faces on the people that he draws. So if Donald Cruz illustrates people in his stories, he doesn't usually put a face on them. On the next slide, we're going to take a peek at some of the books written by Donald Cruz. We have Truck, Freight Train, Flying, School Bus, Harbor, 10 Black Dots, Night at the Fair, Parade, Big Mamas, Sail Away, Bicycle Race, Carousel. And if you look at that image of carousel, you can see that technique again. Donald Cruz blurred the picture to tell us that the carousel is moving fast. Shortcut, We Read A to Z, Inside Freight Train, and the last book I included on this slide is that Each Orange Had 8 Slices, a counting book. Now this story was written by Paul Gigante Jr., but the pictures were drawn by Donald Cruz. Sometimes authors don't draw their pictures and they have other illustrators draw their pictures. In this story, Donald Cruz wrote the pictures. Now I want you to scroll down and listen to 2 stories read by Donald Cruz.